Inside of this video, I'm going to show you the 4 easiest ways to boost your cash package conversions that we've discovered after generating more than $5 million in cash package sales that bypass sales resistance, melt insurance objections, and get patients committing to more visits without pushy, outdated sales tactics. And here's proof. This is a screenshot taken from our accounting software that shows we've generated more than $2 million just in the last 12 months, and that we've grown nearly month over month every single month since we started our cash physical therapy business. We've been able to do that because across the board, RPTs are converting evals into cash packages at or above 90% at scale. And this didn't just work for us. It has been applied to hundreds and hundreds of cash physical therapy businesses just like yours just in the last 2 years alone. Now, before I actually get into the gold nuggets that you can start applying today, I want to congratulate you on grabbing our cash physical therapy sales manuscript that has literally every single lesson we have ever learned in cash physical therapy sales and what is required to create a world-class experience that gets patients to decide for themselves that they want to invest into your cash packages before you even recommend one. Now, before you go and download that, inside of this video, I'm going to give you our 4 best golden nuggets from this manuscript so you can fast track your sales success and start taking action right away. All of these lessons combined inside of this manuscript we call the Objection Prehab Protocol because it literally overcomes objections before they happen, making sales more like order taking than actual sales, and it is night and day different than the typical sales process that cash physical therapists are using today. Now, who is this for? This is for cash-based physical therapists who are treating patients mobily in a gym or a brick and mortar practice, seeing active adults, general ortho, pelvic health, athletes, CrossFit enthusiasts, you name it. If you work with any of those populations, this is for you. Now, you might be asking yourself, who is this guy? Well, for the last 5 years, I've been the systems guy inside of cash physical therapy, consulting with the most profitable cash physical therapy practices in the world. And after scaling my partner Ben's practice to $2 million per year and analyzing more than 7,000 discovery calls, 5,000 evaluations, I converted more than 4,500 cash package sales, and then teaching those systems to more than 500 other cash physical therapy practices, me and my partners feel like we have cash physical therapy sales boiled down to a science. Now, if you get value out of this video here today, I want you to hit the like button. I want you to subscribe, hit the alert button so you get notified every single week when we drop a brand new training around what's working to grow and scale cash physical therapy practices. Now, if you take one thing away from this training today, I want it to be that 90% package conversions is normal. In fact, we see it every single day. This is just one example. Dr. Matt Longfellow, who came in struggling to convert anyone into his cash packages, after implementing the systems I'm about to share with you, he started converting 80 to 90% of his evals into cash packages, and it didn't even feel like sales anymore. He said, it's not even sales anymore. It feels more like a clinical conversation where I'm telling people exactly what it is that they need. If that's what you want, you're in the right place. Now, there are 4 stages of the Objection Prehab Protocol. There's the hot girl discovery call, which is not at all what you think it might be, empathetic authority onboarding experience, the 63-1 evaluation method, and the retention experience. Now, inside of this sales manuscript, you're going to get access to every single thing you need to know to be able to copy and paste these systems into your cash practice. But I want to give you some gold nuggets here before you leave. The number one killer of cash package sales are poorly set expectations on the discovery calls. Specifically, poorly answered insurance-based questions and not pre-framing rates and packages. Now, we've been converting evals into cash packages at 90% for a few years now. And a few months back, we went through this spree of not one of our PTs being able to convert their evals because people were showing up more hesitant. They're giving more insurance objections. They're giving more spouse objections. And we didn't know what the heck was going on because it was so sudden. But we had just hired a new front office admin and she was fantastic at her job. But when we went back and looked at her call recordings, we found out that she was missing one incredibly important piece in the discovery call process, which is pre-framing the packages. She was talking about the rates, making sure the prospect knew what the per visit rate was, but she wasn't pre-framing the packages by letting him know, it's like, hey, RPTs see this issue all the time, and typically it's going to need about 6 visits in order to get you to where you're trying to go. And just by not having that one statement, people were showing up to their evaluations with a completely different mindset, making it really difficult to convert them into our cash packages because they weren't already thinking about it before the visit happened. Now, inside of our cash physical therapy manuscript, we cover all of this stuff in the step-by-step process that we use to convert 64% of every single phone call that we get into a booked evaluation, even though we're talking about our packages, and we're telling them exactly how much it's going to cost. And this process is booking us 20 evals each and every week. And so you can go and get this inside of the manuscript, but I want to give you a few gold nuggets before you do. Gold nugget number one is the right way to handle insurance questions. I want you to remember this: acknowledge, redirect, and reframe. When people ask us on the phone, do we take their insurance? Don't shy away from it. Lean into it. Be excited about it. Expect it to happen. Hey, that's a great question, Nora. All of our patients do have insurance. I'd be more than happy to discuss how that fits into your care. Then we want to redirect the conversation back towards why the patient's calling in the first place, to get help. However, before we even discuss that, I just want to make sure that we can even help you. And even if we can't, I'll give you my professional recommendation and maybe even refer you to another clinic in town. Now, can you tell me a little bit more about what's going on so I have more context? Now, 90% of the time, this is going to overcome that insurance question. They're not even going to bring it up again if you're following our discovery call script. Now, sometimes you're going to find prospects really want to have the insurance conversation. If that is the case, don't redirect. Just tell them what it is that they need to know. So, as I said, Nora, all of our patients do have insurance, but we are technically out of network because we found that insurance companies just don't allow us to work with patients in the way that we found gets the best and fastest results. Still, all of our patients do get a super bill that allows them to get reimbursed by their insurance. Now, it does sound like insurance is really important to you, and I completely get that, but do you mind if I ask, even if it's just to refer you to another clinic in town, what are two other things that really matter to you the most when choosing a physical therapist? Now we're able to have a deeper conversation and position ourselves against the traditional model. We can explain it's going to be really hard to find another clinic that's going to check all of their boxes. And so if they say, I want great care, I want fast and long-term results, and I want it to be affordable, great. Okay, well, aside from insurance, it does sound like we check all of those other boxes. And to be completely honest with you, it's going to be really hard to find a clinic that's going to check all of them. And since we're already talking, would you be completely against answering a few more questions to see if we can even help? And even if we can't, I can refer you to a clinic in town and make sure that you find the help that you need. Does that sound reasonable? Most people are really going to open up after this because you're so upfront, you're so open, and it's centered around truly giving value to the prospect. And after this, most of the time, we don't get any other insurance objections. And if they do insist on it, then just refer them elsewhere. Now, you can get the entire script inside of the manuscripts, but don't go because I have more gold nuggets to share. The second stage of the Objection Prehab Protocol is the empathetic authority onboarding experience. How bought in your prospects are before they show up to the evaluation is the number one determining factor of package conversion. And this means that Schedular's Remorse is the second biggest killer of cash package conversions behind poorly addressed insurance questions. And so this happens after a prospect books an evaluation. After that happens, people are leaning one way or the other. They're either skeptical or fully bought in. And we need a system that stacks the deck in our favor to lean them towards wanting to buy a package before they ever show up. If we don't address Schedular's Remorse, a few things are going to happen. Number one, they're either going to ghost or no-show you. They're going to show up, but they're going to be committed to not committing, which is the worst case scenario. Number three, they're going to show up highly skeptical and it's going to put all of the pressure on your PTs to be excellent salespeople rather than just being able to remain an expert and just tell people what they need and have them accept that recommendation. That is a 1 in 3 chance of prospects even being open to the idea of packages and ongoing visits, which we obviously don't want. So here's gold nugget number 2, how to turn Schedular's Remorse into here, take my money. Here's exactly what we do to get patients showing up already sold. Number 1 is we send them a new patient welcome video because nobody is willing to do this. It allows the prospect to really get to know us a little bit deeper and fully understand what the next step is and warm up to us as people. Number 2 is instead of just generic intake paperwork, we created the evaluation accelerator form, which has skyrocketed the number of people who actually comply and complete the intake paperwork process. We use motivational interviewing to not only get the patient to think of what it is they truly want to get out of physical therapy outside of just pain, but it means that when they show up, they're thinking a little bit bigger. And the thing that we're selling them isn't pain relief, it's the accomplishment of their greater vision and goals. Number 3 is the personalized anticipation video. This is so incredibly powerful. We have the treating PT 24 hours beforehand, record a selfie style video, talking about their intake paperwork, addressing some of the things that they said, and telling them how excited and how confident they are that they're going to be able to get them the result that they're looking for and that they're so excited for them to come in. Having these systems in place has patients showing up feeling like they already know us. We don't really have to break the ice. And so much more open to the recommendations that we have when they have time to kind of get to know us before the assessment. Now, the result of us doing this has been crazy. Not only do we have a 95% show up rate at scale, but because of this system, sales are incredibly easy and our PTs were able to convert evals into packages at 90%. Now, inside of the manuscript, you get all the examples, the scripts, the templates, all of that good stuff. Now, the third pillar of the Objection Prehab Protocol is our 63-1 evaluation method. Okay, we do 60-minute evals, we make sure to give every single patient 3 specific wins during the evaluation. We only give them 1 recommendation based on our finding. This is the secret to making your cash packages absolutely irresistible to your prospect. This covers how to make your evals the most valuable 60 minutes that your patients have ever experienced with a healthcare provider, making it a no-brainer to continue working with you. I'm about to give you one of the most valuable gold nuggets out of this entire training and manuscript, the real secret why we're able to convert 9% of evals into cash packages. But like I said, I'm not going to cover everything in this video. Make sure that after this, you go check out the manuscript and get all of the pieces that you need, like how to create a world-class first impression, the art of the subjective assessment, the step-by-step eval process, sculpting your irresistible pitch, and how to overcome any objections that your prospects might throw at you at the evaluation. Now, how do we get prospects to literally crave your cash package that's completely rooted in human psychology? So we took this from the stages of habit formation. First, there's a cue, then there's a craving, then there's an action, then there's a reward. And we kind of scrambled this so that at the end of our evaluation, our prospects are literally craving the next step. Here's gold nugget number 3, the 63-1 evaluation method. This leverages human psychology to create a world-class evaluation experience for our patients. Number 1 is we have to create the cue in our prospect's mind by creating an emotion-based win where we actually shift a belief in what they think is actually possible for themselves or how long it's going to take to reach their goals. We validate those goals by sharing success stories and showing them patients who had the exact same problem or the exact same goal. Then once we give them that emotion-based win, they're much more excited, they're much more open to our advice, and then we give them an action-based win where we actually start to test them during the objective assessment and we get them doing the very thing that they're avoiding doing. If they are struggling with bench press, we get them bench pressing. If they're struggling with squat, we get them squatting. If they're struggling with running, we get them running. Whatever it might be, we get them to do the very thing that they're afraid of. And then we reinforce that by instilling confidence in knowing that we can get them the great result based on what it is that we're seeing right away. Then we want to give them the reward. We want to give them an outcome-based win. And so after we do some manual therapy and some actual treatment, getting them to do better, we want to retest them and create intra-session change, proving and validating the new beliefs that we just gave them that we can absolutely get them a fantastic result. And we make sure to make it a big deal that they made progress within that first session, reinstilling confidence so we can get them the dream outcome. And when we do all these 3 things in this order, it leaves the prospect craving the next step because they've already created so much momentum. Why would they stop now? And you find that your prospects are going to convert without any objections. And then you can just lay out the next steps and you're good to go. I have one last gold nugget for you: how to maximize your patient retention post-purchase using the retention follow-up experience. Now, most cash physical therapists wrongfully assume that the sale is done once a prospect invests. You couldn't be more wrong. To increase profit, we thought in the beginning that we needed just to get more patients. Okay, but then we discovered that our average visits per patient was only 4 visits. And we realized that we needed at least 6 visits per patient to reach our income goals. And so we dug into this, and research shows that to acquire a new customer costs 5 times more than just to retain one, and increasing your retention just by 5% can grow your profit by upwards of 25 to 95%. And by implementing what I'm about to share with you is why at scale we're able to do millions of dollars in sales and still maintain a 35% profit margin that allows us to constantly reinvest back into the business. That is what creates this nearly perfect month-over-month growth since we started the practice. Now here's gold nugget number 4. This is exactly what we did and what you should copy. First, we designed the retention follow-up experience. Okay, we sent them a same-day congratulations and eval recap SMS and email, reinstilling confidence and congratulating them on taking the first step towards reaching their goals. We then send them an automated 24-hour check-in. Now we know that patients are going to be a little bit sore after their initial eval, and this is a friction point where some people drop off or they think they made a mistake. And so we need to have a touch point in here to counteract that, make sure that they know it's normal and they know that we are in their corner to help them like no one else is. And then 3 days later, we also send them another because we know that getting people to actually follow through and comply with their home exercise program is going to require a change in habits. And most people, it takes a little bit of accountability. It takes some structure to actually get them to do that. And so we have another automated message to follow up with them to make sure that they got their HEP okay, that they're actually doing it, making sure that they don't have any other questions. And just by having this personalized touch where they feel like we're truly in their corner, we're being leaders, we're holding them accountable, we've seen some pretty incredible results. Not only did this decrease the first week drop-off rates down to nearly 0, the total drop-off rate plummeted to just 14.9% at scale, seeing hundreds of patients every single month. And our average visit per patient soared to 9.2 visits on average. And this is the actual data since we started our practice at scale across all of our PTs. And here's the churn rate again after 317 new patients that we've seen. These optimization techniques I just shared with you, along with the scripts, templates, and processes that you now have access to inside of the CashGPT sales manuscript, are the absolute secrets that we've used to unlock explosive month-over-month growth inside of my partner Ben's practice. Now, if you got value out of this video and you want to watch more training on what's working right now to grow and scale cash practices, hit the like button, subscribe, and get the alerts to get more content. As I said, this system has worked for hundreds of cash physical therapists all over the world and covers all of our top lessons from generating more than $5 million in cash package sales. And now you can get all of this absolutely for free inside of the cash physical therapy sales manuscript. All of our tools, scripts, templates, all these things that other cash physical therapists have rated #1 in the industry, who paid thousands of dollars to access it. You now have access to it for free. These are more reviews that we have that go on and on. CM is a game changer, the best results, worth the investment, changed the trajectory of my practice. We have pages and pages of reviews who this system have absolutely transformed the lives of these people. So the tools I just shared with you can absolutely change your life, but only if you actually use them. So don't let this become something that just sits in your inbox. Go in and actually read through it and take action today. Download the Cash Physical Therapy Sales Manuscript and get all of our top lessons from $5 million in cash package sales. Get all of our discovery call scripts and processes. Learn how to handle any objection that your prospects might throw at you. Learn how to prevent and overcome schedulers and buyer's remorse. Maximize your retention and your profit so you can create month-over-month growth inside of your business. Now, after watching this, if you feel inclined, book a 50-minute growth plan call with myself or my team below so that we can explore how we might be able to 2x your growth with any of our hundreds of free cash physical therapy resources or paid programs.